everyone, and welcome back to the review of Unit 10, Compensation Clarity. So in the preview, I mentioned that New York City has made a new law that employers hiring employees in the New York City area have to disclose the payment range for that new position. And companies are not really happy about this. So after an employee gets the job, they go into a contract or payment negotiation, a salary negotiation, and it's the HR team's job to get the best employee for the lowest price or salary possible. And that is much easier if the employees have no clue about what range of salary people typically get for that job. Now, these days, savvy applicants can pretty much look up the salary ranges online.
Have no clue.
Have no clue.
Savvy.
Savvy.
You know, there are websites and many employment websites where you put in this title at this company and find out exactly, or a range of approximately how much people in those jobs are making. But not everyone is that savvy, and it is still possible for some companies to kind of dupe their employees into taking lower salaries than maybe they deserve. They're also worried that the existing employees will look at these job opening advertisements and find out how much they should be making, and they might not be making that much, or they may be making more at the lower end of the range, and feel like they're being stiffed. So while they once were kind of happy with their job, happy with their salary maybe, they'll find out that they're not making as much as they could be, and may even end up quitting or trying to find a new job. On the other hand, paying everyone a fair salary may be good practice for companies in general, so it might lead to better situations at these companies, and more equality.
Stiff.
Stiff.
Good practice.
Good practice.
So people will have a better idea of what anybody should be making when they do this job, and employees definitely will have an advantage in the salary negotiations. So going back to that situation, what if you were happy with your job and suddenly found out that a new coworker was making the same or more than you were making?
That's where the phrase "ignorance is bliss" kind of really is true.
Definitely.
Well, I mean, if there's a new employee making the same as me, and I was there for 5+ years, and had gotten some, pay increases, I would be shocked, and I would, definitely request from HR or manager a pay raise by my next, year or contract renewal or something. If they wouldn't, then I would quit. I mean, that would be my emotion. Now, that making that decision to quit is very, very, very difficult. Unless you can secure another position or find other opportunity, then people would more easily quit, jump ship, as people say. But definitely, if they're making more than you and have no experience, and you have 5, 5's a round number. But if you have any amount of experience there, 1 to 2 years, and someone just fresh out of college comes in, and you're like, hey, I was here for 2 years at least. I would not like that. How about you?
I would also not be happy. It would depend on the situation. So if I had been there for 5 or 10 years and someone had been hired at the same level, then presumably they also have experience. So theoretically they could have more experience than I do, theoretically. So it might make sense in that situation. I probably still wouldn't feel good about it. Particularly since, I'd been a loyal employee of the company, and they had obviously left another job. So way less reliable than I am.
Unless they had the higher experience at a bigger company or more credentials, it could be understandable.
There could be many different situations in which that would happen. They might be taking a downgrade for whatever reason because they think but it's still higher than my salary.
Yes.
So there's many different situations, but under the general situation where, assuming they have like equal experience with me, I would definitely feel stiffed. And I'm not exactly sure what I would do. Like you said, leaving, you have to find another job. You have to go into another salary negotiation, which is
Maybe you
a pain.
become that person who's going to be paid higher
You
than
could
somebody
become that
else.
person because now you know what you're worth.
Right.
So it might be easier to negotiate at a new company rather than
True.
trying to convince your current company that suddenly you also deserve this much money.
Right.
But I would definitely feel, disrespected and unloved.
Right.
So yeah, it would be a really bad situation. And if I found out about it through a job advertisement, or like they were advertising for my job or something like that.
Wait, that's my position.
When, if I was getting promoted or something like that, and they
Yeah.
advertised for it at a higher salary than I had been receiving, I would feel majorly disrespected. So it would probably not be good for the morale in the company. But I think the law does have some positive outcomes.
Yeah, true.
And hopefully more people who find out that they're not making as much as they could will negotiate for higher salaries.
Yeah.
So I think overall the law is probably a good thing.
I agree.
So that is all for Unit 10, Compensation Clarity. We'll see you in the next video.